When we talk, sometimes we say things directly. I'm going to the store, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Other times, though, we talk in a way that conjures up a small scene, like the common one, it's raining cats and dogs, we say, or I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. Metaphors, which these are a way to talk about one thing by describing something else. That seem roundabout and confusing, but it's actually not. Seeing and hearing and tasting and how we know anything first, the philosopher William James described the world of newborn infants as a buzzing and blooming confusion. Abstract ideas are pale things compared to those first bees and blossoms. Metaphors think with the imagination and the senses. The hot chili peppers in them explode in the mouth and the mind. They are precise. We don't really stop to think about a raindrop the size of an actual cat or a dog. But as soon as I do, I realize that I'm quite certain the dog has to be a small one. So I think a beagle might be about that. Metaphor isn't true or untrue in any ordinary sense. Metaphors are actually an art, not science, but they can still feel right or wrong. A metaphor that isn't good leaves you confused for sure. You know that it means you know what it means to feel like a square wheel, but not what it's like to be tired as a whale. There's a paradox to metaphors. They almost always say things that aren't true. If you say there's an elephant in the room, there isn't an actual one, and it's not like you can actually put an elephant in a room either, looking for the peanut dish on the table. Metaphors get under your skin by ghosting right past the logical mind. Plus, we are used to thinking in images, aren't we? Every night we dream impossible things, and when we wake, the way of thinking is still in us. We take off our dream shoes and button ourselves into our lives. Some metaphors include the words like, or as, like sweet as honey and strong as a tree. Those are called similes. A simile is a metaphor that admits it making a comparison. Similes tend to make you think. Metaphors let you feel things directly. Take Shakespeare's famous metaphor: all the world's a stage. The world is like a stage, just seems thinner and more boring. Metaphors can also live sometimes in verbs. Emily Dickinson begins a poem: I saw no way the heavens were stitched. And we know instantly what it would feel like if the sky were a fabric sewn shut. They can not only live in verbs but also in adjectives. Still waters run deep. We say of someone quiet and thoughtful. And the deep matters as much as the stillness and the water do. One of the clearest places to find good metaphors is in poems. Take the haiku by the 18th century Japanese poet Aesop. On a branch floating downriver, a cricket singing. The first way to meet a metaphor is just to see the world through its eyes. And an insect sings from a branch passing by in the middle of the river. Even as you see that, though, some part of you recognizes in the image a small portrait of what it's like to live in this world of change and time. Our human fate is to vanish as surely as that small cricket will, and still we do what it does. We live, we sing. Sometimes a poem takes a metaphor and just extends it, building on one idea in many ways. Here's the beginning of Langston Hughes' famous poem, Mother to Son. Well, son, I'll tell you, life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It had tacks in it and splinters and boards torn up and places with no carpet on the floor. Langston Hughes is making a metaphor that compares a hard life to a wrecked house you still have to live in. Those splinters and tacks feel real. They hurt your own feet and your own heart, but the mother is describing her life yet, not obviously her actual house. So each door leads to some new house and some new world that only that one can handle. What amazing is that metaphors are something that are so profound that you can actually sit for days. Meaning metaphors in poems, you can sit for days and then think about it and imagine it, and it gives you new meaning every single time.